We're gonna do chordates, okay, for the rest of the year actually. What you want to know about chordates is that they're a phylum Chordata, okay, and they are part of this phylum because they possess these four characteristics. Does anybody know what I'm showing here? Yes.
Dorsal fin.
Not a fin. It's not a vessel. Yes. You know, they're not. I'm not pointing to that. What does this look like? Gills. So they're not called gills. They're called pharyngeal slits. What does this look like here? Right here. What is it? A tail. All chordates have a tail. That means you have a tail. Exactly.
Aren't some babies still born with tails
a little bit? Tailbone, yeah. And this, what do you think this is? Like, look where it is. Good. It is a dorsal hollow nerve cord, and then surrounded by what? What is a nerve cord usually surrounded by? Spine, which is not really a spine. It's called a notochord, and I'm going to explain to you what each of these are in a minute. So a notochord is like a skeleton of cartilage that is like a rod. Okay, so immediately you thought of backbone, and that's actually what it can develop into. So we have a notochord in our embryonic state that develops into a backbone by the time we're born. Does that make sense? Some organisms in the phylum Chordata will keep that notochord their entire life. So they'll have it forever, and some will have it only during embryonic state. So the dorsal hollow nerve cord is exactly what it is. It's a cord of nerves, and it basically makes up your what? Nervous system, okay, which can, in some chordates, develop into what? Your nervous system creates what?
Your movements.
Well, it controls your movements, but a dorsal hollow nerve cord in us, if it's part of our central nervous system, develops into what? That's going to be part of it too. Brain and what? Spinal cord. So it's a tract of nerves, and then it develops in some chordates into the spinal cord and brain. So pharyngeal slits are openings where? Pharyngeal. In the pharynx. That develop into what? It can, but not really. In some chordates. It's always in some chordates. Gills, good. So they are openings that allow for gas exchange. We have them. Think about it. When you're in the embryonic sac, you're in fluid. So yeah, technically you're kind of exchanging gases to breathe, and that's what it looks like. And then in some chordates, it will develop into gills. In others, it will form, it kind of like just disappears, okay? And then the same thing happens with the postanal tail. It's a skeletal extension in all chordates in the posterior end, which is the back end, and it's present in embryonic development, but can stay for most chordates, but we obviously do not have a tail towards the end of our development. And here we do. You see it right here.
What if a kid was born with?
Phylum Chordata, the first or simplest organisms in the phylum Chordata are called invertebrate chordates because they lack what? So here's my question. If they lack a backbone, why aren't they invertebrates? If they are not, they do not have a backbone, why are they invertebrate chordates? Because they still have a dorsal hollow nerve cord. They still have what?
The gills.
Pharyngeal slits. They still have post-anal tail and a notochord. They have the four characteristics of chordates, which invertebrates do not. But they do not have a backbone. That's it. The rest of my chordates do. And the organisms that I am referencing here, I should have put and I didn't, are called landslets and tunicates. So go ahead and write that, landslets and tunicates. The other group of chordates is called vertebrate chordates. And that group is where we fall into, and they have a backbone and a what? No, all chordates have that. Look at the picture, guys.
A skull.
A skull. Good.